January 6th, Tribulations. I guess it's about time to wrap up today's investigation. Had enough of being a waitress? Yeah, plus no one came to the restaurant.
Ooh la la, Mademoiselle Maya! Non, how can you leave me like this?
I'm sorry. That reminds me. Mr. Armstrong had a psych lock or 3, didn't he? I'm gonna have to break those. Mr. Armstrong, I hope you won't mind, but I'd like to have another word with you.
Volunteer, of course.
There we go.
What is happening? I do not like this horrible feeling.
I have to know the truth. What happened that day?
Hello, I will confess everything. Just don't hurt me.
Huh? Well, that was a new world record.
It was a lottery ticket.
A lottery ticket.
The man who died here had a lottery ticket. For $500,000.
$500,000?
Oui, but after the incident, this ticket... it disappeared.
The ticket disappeared.
This was the motive that the prosecution gave for Maggie. They said that she poisoned a man to get the $500,000 lottery ticket.
Why didn't you tell me about this sooner?
My lord.
You have been trying to hide this information about the lottery ticket from me, and I want to know the reason why.
No, monsieur, you doubt me, but I have confessed to you everything I know.
Mr. Armstrong, the $500,000 lottery ticket, I think I know who took it. I think the winning ticket was stolen by this person. Well, how about it?
Ça va?
Excuse me?
It means, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks.
Bien, I am happy to hear it.
Doesn't sound like I'm doing so fine with his psych locks, though.
Poor Maggie, she was tempted by the evil, no?
No, if it was really Maggie, then you'd have no reason to hide the facts from me. Mr. Armstrong, the $500,000 lottery ticket, I think I know who took it. I think the winning ticket was stolen by this person. Mr. Armstrong, I believe there is a very high probability that was you. Wow, that is one piercing scream, even for a man like him.
Mais pourquoi moi? Why? You have no evidence. I am not the masquerade mask. I am not the kind of person who steals the property of others.
Sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Armstrong, but I have evidence to the contrary. I present to you proof that you have stolen from others in the past.
Oui, perhaps that would be nice. A terrine, maybe?
Sorry?
I was just thinking about my lunch menu. Terrine de canard. What do you think?
That sounds lovely.
Alors, au revoir, monsieur. I must go to buy the ingredients.
I guess my evidence is a bit of a lame duck.
I am not masquerade mask. I'm not the kind of person who steals the property of others.
Sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Armstrong, but I have evidence to the contrary. I present to you proof that you have stolen from others in the past. Oh. Yeah. Right? Oh. No, shit. I fucked it up. Okay. What did he steal? Yeah, he did steal. Oh, from the past. From the past. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, there.
What is this? A poem? Oh, monsieur, you know me so well. I adore poems.
Please read it and put some feeling into it.
Convicted before, a wicked man or woman, repeat offender.
I'm sorry to have to bring it up, Mr. Armstrong, but you have been arrested for stealing from your customers before, haven't you?
Mon Dieu! Le monsieur! What? Le mensonge. You are the liar.
You deny it?
Do not make me laugh false accusations, s'il play. So, do you have any proof? I want to see the incontestable proof that I have ever stolen from one of my customers. Imbecile! Imbecile! You are an imbecile!
What are you singing?
Just one of my favorite chansons. It is called Imbecile. It is French. Come, monsieur, sing together with me. Imbecile, imbecile, you are an imbecile.
Armstrong's definitely stolen from his customers before. I just need to find the right evidence to prove it. So,
so do you have any proof? I want to see the incontestable proof that I have ever stolen from one of my customers.
It seems old habits die hard, Mr. Armstrong.
What is that?
This is my Magatama, and I found it in your kitchen.
No!
Wow, that scream just about broke some windows.
I have a weakness for la little tickets and la figurines. My hand, it just slips out. I cannot stop it.
You've stolen handkerchiefs, gloves, and other things from your customers, right?
Oui, it is the truth. I am just a timid little girl inside, monsieur. A timid little girl. Besides, this time, it was not la small trinket, oui. It was $500,000. Manon, why would I steal it? I have no need for such money.
Really now?
Oh, monsieur, what is it?
Isn't it true that you're in some pretty serious trouble? And that you are in desperate need of a large amount of cash? Shit. Well, either way, we're gonna have to restart again. Well, Mr. Armstrong?
My monsieur, it is not I who is in trouble. It is you, non?
Huh?
Un petit question.
What?
It means a little question. Together now with me. Un petit question.
Un petit question.
Bravo, monsieur! Oh, you are a team! Excellent!
Mr. Neck.
If you push yourself anymore, your soul will shatter. Please calm down, collect your thoughts, and try again.
I made too many mistakes.
Get back here, you slippery little snake. Alright. Rapid fire.
Lottery ticket.
If I didn't make that one mistake before, that I could have done this cleanly, but it's too late for that now, isn't it? There we go, Megatama. And then finally, the loan contract. This restaurant is deep in the red, isn't it? You have a loan to the tune of $500,000. That lottery ticket would have wiped out your debts. Well, Mr. Armstrong, what do you have to say for yourself now? There we go. Mr. Armstrong, you said that the victim had a winning lottery ticket for $500,000. How did you know he had something like that in the first place?
The man, he was listening to the radio with his earpiece.
Maggie said something about that too.
The winning number was announced on the news, I think. All of a sudden, he exploded. Yes, $500,000, he shouted.
And the ticket?
Oui, he had all of his tickets spread out on the table. I I was so desperately in need of money, so I
Put the poison in his coffee?
No, you naughty man. I simply helped myself to one of his tickets.
What?
La victim collapsed and Maggie passed out. I thought to myself, pourquoi pas? He had so many of them.
Yeah, but only one of them was a winning ticket, right? How could you do that, Mr. Armstrong? Maggie was arrested because of you.
No, this is not true. I did not take it. I did not.
But you just told us you did. You say you took a ticket.
Manon, ma fille, he was not.
That's enough. Huh? Oh, Godot? Ah! Mr. Godot? What in the heck are you doing here?
This is without a doubt the worst coffee I've ever tasted, Mr. Armstrong.
You came in here for coffee? This craving for coffee know no bounds. Hold on, let me take a sip of coffee.
Perhaps Mr. Armstrong sold one of the victim's tickets on the day in question.
I am the heir, none. Just a petty little girl who everyone is laughing at.
But in that case, Maggie shouldn't be the only one under suspicion.
He had the wrong ticket.
What?
Mr. Armstrong made off with the winning ticket's pretty neighbor.
So, the ticket he took was worthless?
Not quite. He did win something. $1.
You see?
You see, I am just a pretty face. Without my looks, I have nothing.
So, what happened to the winning ticket, then? The one he meant to steal?
Indeed. What did happen to it? I don't like spoiling myself by watching trailers, so we'll just wait and see how the movie turns out tomorrow, won't we?
Voila, you two. Time to laugh at the pretty little head.
Looks like I won't be needing this note anymore. Looks like we've got a new mystery now. Namely, where did the winning ticket go? I've got a bad feeling about this. Well, anyways. We can't let Maggie suffer any longer for this, and certainly not again. To be continued. January 7th, Tribune Kitchen. Huh? Mr. Armstrong's talking to someone. I'll be back next month.
Oui, naturellement. I'll be waiting for you.
If you haven't got it by then, I'm afraid it might get a little hot around here.
No, I will have everything ready, I promise.
I love fire, you know. I love the way it crackles.
No, stupid, I beg you.
Then don't let me down. I'll be watching you.
Manon, this is not necessary. You can trust me, mademoiselle.
Talk to anyone, and I'll drive a knife right through your heart.
Oh no, you do not have to worry. You know, you worry far too much. Maybe this will help you relax. It is the oil of sandalwood.
I do love raw meat from time to time. I'll be taking my leave. Goodbye for now. I can't remember the voice I did for her.
I have the shivers. I must rub some of my oil all over my body before I become the nervous wreck. There. Oh, oui. Oh, that feels good. Oh la la. Excusez-moi, monsieur. My eyes. Your eyes? If you have trouble with your eyes, you need these. La oil of sandalwood.
Isn't this just the leftovers of what you were just using? You don't exactly have many customers, do you, Mr. Armstrong?
No, you are right, monsieur. But perhaps that is the perfect time for you to visit me, non? That way I can give you my undivided attention and cook for you, Lady Supreme.
Putting on a brave face, huh? That's what girls do, Nick.
But you're right. Business is very difficult these days. Perhaps the name is the problem. People do not understand it. They think it is tray. I just want the people to think that my restaurant was exclusive.
But they think you just serve fast food on cheap plastic trays. Heck, that's the kind of thing that can make a girl cry. Have you forgotten that Mr. Armstrong is a man, Maya?
But this restaurant is my life. It is everything to me. I will defend it to la finale. No one will take it from me.
Okay. So, who was that woman you were just talking to?
Oh la la, you saw that?
Well, yes, sorry. So, who was she? She looked so polite and graceful.
Polite? Graceful?
And she likes raw meat and fires, right?
I'll be back next month. Oui, naturellement. I've been waiting for you.
If you haven't got it by then, I'm afraid it might get a little hot around here.
No, I will have everything ready, I promise.
Now that I think about it. Hey, Maya, I think it's pretty clear what kind of conversation they were having. You think so? Well, then let's show him that piece of evidence and see what happens.
Oh la la, you have such a pretty smile, ma petite tulip.
Who, me?
Oui, la smile is the most important thing for us girls, n'est-ce pas?
Sure.
You have the perfect face for a waitress, you know.
Thanks. I guess if things don't work out someday, then maybe I'll be back. What things? She talking about her being a spirit medium?
Mon Dieu, what beauty!
That's my sister.
Ah oui, another delight. But you have a certain je ne sais quoi that I do not sense from your sister.
I do?
So throw your head eyes, thrust out your feminine features. Do not lose heart, my friend. You are a woman extraordinaire.
Do I look like I need cheering up or something? About this.
Felicitations, my quasi-picosist.
Huh? J no comprehend. Nick, don't just make something up.
Oh, how it hurts me to see that poor girl's face.
Maggie's?
I heard she was superhumanly unhappy.
Superhumanly?
And if she hadn't come to work for me, she wouldn't have got into this mess.
Huh? I'm missing something here, aren't I?
Just sweet to say. Just sweet the soul, Maggie, forgive me.
Just sweet the soul?
Ah, the dead man. The first in my restaurant.
No way! You mean the first customer you ever had?
No. It was the first time I've had a dead man in my restaurant. Such a shame to lose a customer after only his first meal here.
About this.
Ah, this old man. He is a regular here. My specialty of cappuccino and cold water is one of his favorites.
Was he here at the time of the incident?
Oui, he was here. I am sure of it. When the incident happened, the old man was here. It is hard to imagine, I know, but I was an apprentice for 5 years in La Paris.
Wow, in Paris.
It was something the chef there said to make that. It was something the chef there said to me that made me decide to open my own restaurant.
What was it?
That awful man said to me, "You must train for another 10 years." Oh, it was such a shock. So unexpected. But you would have to be a fool to do this, huh?
Right.
Please, monsieur, there's no need to show me that. You are mon Phoenix Rat, the worst defense attorney in town.
I'm pretty sure I know how you formed this completely wrong impression of me. Last time we met, did I show you this badge?
Oui, you flashed it to everyone in the restaurant.
Looks like Zin Yelp is a bigger fan of flashing stuff than you are, Nick. Well,
Oh, what a beautiful pendant! It would look stunning on me with the earrings.
Please don't steal it again, okay? It's one of a kind.
I could just have a sliver of it, none?
It's not a block of cheese, you know? This is the paper the victim brought with him.
MC Bummer? Oui.
Does that mean something to you?
No, I only speak French, mademoiselle.
But we found it behind your magazine rack.
Oh, how naughty I am. I haven't cleaned for such a long time.
Uh-huh.
Oh la la, so you have eaten my lunch? No, oui. Tell me, monsieur, did you enjoy the lunch I prepared for you?
It was a unique and wild mixture of flavors. That was the first time I've ever had lobster, you know?
Lobster? There was no lobster in my lunch.
Huh? But it said lobster right on the menu.
Mademoiselle Maya, please, you must read the menu more carefully. It says, a dish inspired by lobster and a ballon fricassee with a balsamic vinaigrette.
Oh, it's inspired, is it?
Oui, inspired by these ingredients, but not perhaps made from them, n'est-ce pas?
Well, guess that's the way the cookie crumbles, Nick. The way the lunch tasted, it's probably 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration. What is it?
Is this your scooter?
No, I saw it before in Vitamin Square, you see.
Mon Dieu, no, take it away. Do not show that to me.
Talk about an allergic reaction.
So long as that paper exists, I am but a delightful angel with the broken wings.
An angel, huh? Doesn't bode well when you think about it.
Oui, they kept harassing me months after months. In the end, I had to give in. I agreed to help them.
Help them? With what?
Ma bien sûr, if I did not owe them la money, I would have refused. But my hands were tied.
Please, what did you agree to help them with?
No, I cannot say. If I tell you that woman, she will slice me up and eat me with la salad garnish.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't mean that he'll literally be sliced up and served with garnish. I'm gonna guess that woman has something to do with your loan contract. Am I right? Please, Mr. Armstrong, tell us about that woman.
Ah, it is true. My vases are broken all the time. I bought a new one the next day after the incident, but they wouldn't let me put it on the table because of the investigation. If only I had taken the red lottery ticket, I would not have any debts right now. I would be free.
Look on the bright side, Mr. Armstrong. You won $1, right? A lack of remorse for having stolen something? Priceless. Is there anything new here? Now I know I'm in a French restaurant. I've never heard of most of these seasonings. Hey Nick, this container has oyster sauce? What's that? Isn't that used in Chinese food? And look at these knives. They look really sharp. I'd like to see how one of those sliced through a cheesecake. A cheesecake? You don't exactly need a sharp knife for one of those, Nick. Yeah. Exactly. What's this? It looks like a treasure chest or something. Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 98, 99, 100. They're all the same too. Now this is one large mirror. I bet this is where he makes himself look pretty. There's a book on the dresser. Clarice Armstrong's bedtime literature. Not exactly Pulitzer Prize material, is it? Looks like a collection of poems he's written. Poems? Cool. Read one out, and say it in your best French accent. With intensity, okay? Okay, here's one. It's called Printemps. The two of them, like actors from a film, the coffee still undrunk. Sweet nothings over too soon. On that sad Saturday morning, the foolish cocktail so delicious. Take the last sip of your tea, and I know what I will do. I must lie to you. I must. Ah, that's it? Yep, that's a poem for you. French poems. Doesn't get more arrogant than that. What are these lace curtains for? I don't know, but they give the place a real homey feel, don't they? Lace curtains. You know, if I was a cooking pot, I'd be perfectly happy to sit on a shelf under those. How do you respond to something like that? That smells good. Something's bubbling away nicely in that pot. It must be the lobster and abalone fricassee with that balsamic vinaigrette. Isn't that what I ate yesterday for lunch? Yeah, I think it's been permanently burned into my brain now. As an example of what truly awful food tastes like. I bet it'll taste really good if it was prepared well. Balsamic even. Okay. Cool. The woman who was here earlier, I take it that she's
Why has it come to this? What a tragedy. Suddenly I find myself so deep in la debt. It is a sign of the bad world we live in, huh?
No, I'd say it's more of a sign of bad culinary skills.
The woman who was here, the scary woman, she is from the loan office.
Loan office? Is that where you borrowed $500,000 from?
Oui, tender lender it is called.
Catchy name. Just hearing it makes me want to borrow some money.
Please, you must not borrow from them. If you must, no more than $10.
$10? Sounds like your whole monthly stipend, Maya. Hey, I'd get a bit more than that, thank you very much. So, tender lender is the loan office you borrowed $500,000 from, huh? I wonder if they've got anything to do with this case.
I am a weak woman. When I am upset, I have to buy something nice to cheer me up. Thanks to him loaning me the money, I have to pay back $500,000 now. I am like his slave. I have to do everything that he tells me.
Who's this he?
La Tiger.
The tiger?
Oui, he is the manager of their tender lender. A terrifying man. La big city mobster. When he shouts at me, my knees are trembling and his voice is ringing in my ears for 3 days. As soon as I hear the noise of that battered old scooter he rides, I start to cry.
A big city mobster who rides a battered old scooter. Does this guy resemble me by any chance?
Oh, no. This man has a presence, a most formidable personality. Also, oui, he does have la spiky hair just like you. Oui, there is a resemblance there, I suppose.
Sounds like this loan office is worth checking out after all.
If you want to visit the tender lender, it is just beyond Vitamin Square.
Hey, Nick. If you need money, I can loan you some, as long as it's less than $3. Thanks for the offer. Just beyond Vitamin Square, huh? Alright, well. See you later, Armstrong. January 8th, 10 a.m., District Court, Quorum number 4.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor.
Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday, we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witnesses said somebody was plagued with a number of problems.
The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand.
Thank you, Mr. Kudo. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear.
It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick?
Ha! Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it.
You've lost me already, Mr. Kudo.
Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules.
Are you implying that you have resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles?
The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here, he was throwing us off the scent. And today I'll prove it.
Very well. Let the first witness take the stand.
And you are?
Oh, bonjour, everyone. I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and chef of Le Tribulations restaurant. Enchanté.
Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman?
Oh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am la pert and perky gentleman. Non.
On the day of the incident, you were in Tribulations' kitchen. Isn't that right?
With you, monsieur. Everything feels right.
Ha!
Ah, we're still unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy?
Very well. Your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Tribune.
Oui, volontaires. When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art deco that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. La cup, la earpiece, and la glasses. He would have seen everything in the verse, non? A mirror! Oui, un grand mirror. La most enormous mirror.
And suddenly, the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it.
That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front.
What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant.
And who were the 2 customers exactly?
My, of course, the young man who died, and the other not so young man.
You are referring to yesterday's witness, I presume.
What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we? I guess I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being.
I remember I was experimenting with some new art deco that day. You were experimenting with art deco?
How come I had never heard about that before today?
You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur.
Please stay on topic. Now, why didn't you tell the court about this before?
But I did, just a few moments ago.
Ahem. Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decorator?
No, Art Deco. It is a style design, Your Honor.
He's talking about interior design. Walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing.
Ah, yes, of course. But that deco.
I was trying to achieve a more effeminate look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling of La Deco. Like having a large mirror between la tables, for example.
How big of a mirror are we talking about here?
Both. Something about 4 meters wide and, about 2 meters high. Let's see, if 1 meter is about 1 yard. Holy glass in a frame, that's huge. I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually.
The ceiling. Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember.
My none, but I decided not to go through with it in the end.
What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror or not? If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimonies.
But,
You didn't ask, right? You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work.
What?
A mirror was delivered to Tribune the day before the incident.
really?
As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end.
This just doesn't add up. Even if the mirror was delivered to Tribune, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime.
Ha! If you want to doubt someone, Trite, look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough.
So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror.
Oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at too.
Normally, I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object.
Normally? How does normality come into this? That's lame, Trite, even for you. Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? Where does that leave the pork-headed lawyer and the top-notch chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here? Well, Trite?
Not there!
I don't have a top knot.
Mr. Kudo is correct. Lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument.
Bien, logic as one latte. La cup, la earpiece, and la glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse, none?
Everything? You would have seen everything in reverse.
Oui.
Hey, Nick, we should take a second to think about what old CD said in his testimony. How did he phrase it again?
Well, he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup. His left hand.
He saw everything he described reflected in a mirror. Everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right, huh? And that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess. Or does it? Huh. It's kind of hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, but do you think old CD saw everything through a reflection? If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony.
That just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's got to be something in that old man's testimony. We've just got to dig deeper.
Let's see. Oh. Okay, and where's Victor's testimony? Oh. Right. Oh. Hold on. Oh, okay. Boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. Left ear. Left hand. It's a bit of a tricky one. I don't remember the answer to this. I thought it would be obvious, but okay. If everything is in reverse, then do we know if he's left-handed or right-handed, or? Am I overthinking this? Okay, I guess. Okay. I know that the answer is this, but I don't know why exactly. Alright, let's see. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we?
The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt.
So, to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side.
Exactement. You see, monsieur, now that you think about it, it's not so odd, no?
Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Oh, okay. I get it.
Order! Order! Mr. White is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye.
How bitter. Try it, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time.
Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different?
You don't understand the way the witness thinks.
How he thinks?
You remember this, I presume?
The I broke the vase, sorry, apology, Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony?
Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit. Other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. L?
Clearly it's the victim's eyepiece.
And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. L's HMD made a big impression on the old man.
I saw the earpiece of those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh, yes, they're both on his left ear. Do you hear? His left ear.
Ha! Well tried.
That's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever. Wow, I really thought he was old seedy for a minute there. Kudo's good.
Enough. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the bowl of a contradiction you just found is a rash.
A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears.
Oui, I can explain. Please, if you look at the plans of the restaurant. Alors, is everyone sitting comfortably? The mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. There's only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. That was the seat of at the table next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
I see no problems with the explanation we have just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror.
What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like these.
Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again.
I hate that guy.
You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that?
Volunteer, of course.
Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please.
The mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves.
So, run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct?
Oui.
We? Really? Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would be in the way.
Look who's talking, Trite.
Huh?
You're obstructing my view, among other things.
But, this is my seat in the courtroom.
Tribulations' charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Unlike you, Trite.
I tell you, monsieur, la mirror was there, in the middle of the restaurant. There's only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim.
And where would that be?
Ooh la la, look how you lean toward me. I always attract the younger boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer.
Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know at once.
I attract the older ones too, you know. Handsome. Shall I tease you too?
I'm already seeing a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a long time.
But she has mocha cream skin and cappuccino perfume. Bien, I will tell you. There was only one seat from which you could have seen. That was the seat at the table next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting.
So why can you only see the victim from that particular seat?
My monsieur, it is obvious, non? If you look at la plans, you will understand. La victim would have been reflected in the mirror like so. If you are sitting at the table next to him, you'll see everything, non?
So that's the seat old Seedy was sitting in on that day. When the poisoning happened. The old man was sitting on the table next to the victim. Why does that seem kinda odd?
After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way.
Did you move the mirror while Mr. Kudo was off calling the police?
Oui, exactement. I carried it out of the restaurant then.
You moved a huge mirror like that all by yourself.
What can I say? I know how to pick things up, handsome.
Kudo actually led to something.
Well, given the witness's physique, I suppose it is possible. Did you move anything else from the crime scene, Mr. Armstrong?
I look like the obliging type, none. But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
Are you sure about that?
I touched nothing except the mirror.
Mr. Wright, is there something the witness has said that doesn't match the crime scene?
Yeah, there is. I just can't put my finger on what exactly.
Ha! Suffering from a case of heartburn, right? Oh, I have just a seek for that, and always go to mirror and Frankenstein's. Add a few drops to your coffee and voila! Enjoy! Focus, Phoenix, breathe! I need to ignore those two and just find some evidence.
It is pretty strange, though, isn't it? I mean, nobody mentioned anything about a really large mirror. You'd think someone would have, but Maggie didn't, and neither did old CD. Then the only logical explanation is that there was no mirror inside Tribune that day. Now I've just got to prove it. Somehow. Okay, do we present the crime photo or the testimony? Let's try the crime photo first. Okay. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor.
The crime photo?
Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist.
What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright?
Should not exist? Sounds like you're describing yourself, right?
Now then, if the defense would please clarify his statement. What is the something that should not exist in this photo?
I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture.
The vase? What possible connection does that have to with the witness's testimony?
Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. There's one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there's an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not in fact sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Don't be an idiot, Troy. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from.
Exactly. There is only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Tribune that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie.
Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene.
Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary. In his own words, I did not touch anything else except the mirror.
Well, with this, what do you have to say for yourself?
Stephen.
That's right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day.
In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear which he couldn't hear?
You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back.
If you want to claim that the mirror was in there, Trite, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw?
If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Are you going to be okay? Can you at least solve this contradiction, Nick? There's more than just one contradiction. Maya, what do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table? And there was a sample CD on the victim's table? It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up.
Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer.
Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. This case is riddled with contradictions, yet there is one very simple answer that clears them all up.
And And what is that?
The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events.
What?
Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Glenn Elk at all. He was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elk. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake.
Order in the court! Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom! Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh? What did you say?
Trite, are you saying that what Kudo saw was the setup?
Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elk and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo.
Get real, Trite. Why would anyone want to do that?
Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was...
A serving girl brought him a cappuccino, but she put something in it. There's a serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well.
It's so hard to believe, but...
There was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee.
Are you insinuating that the waitress of the old man's story was a fake as well? It's sure that there were no other customers at the restaurant at the time, but... It's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening.
That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the theater for such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct?
Oh la la, this is most difficult for me.
No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Tribulations that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened.
The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain, in detail, the events in the restaurant that day.
Oh, oui.
Whew. Alright. I really got heated there. Whew. Alright. We're okay. We're okay. Whew. Let's keep going.
The victim, Monsieur Erg, he came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got word he won the lottery, Monsieur Erg became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for a phony to do the acting.
Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all.
Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly.
What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later.
Oui.
For now, we will hear your cross-examination. Mr. Wright, if you please.
He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. He'll get some spankings later.
The victim, Monsieur Elg, he came to my restaurant alone.
Was he alone at his table as well?
My, oui, I saw him from the kitchen.
Yet the defendant, Miss Bird, remembers her differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table.
Ha! Unfortunately for you, Trite. Yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. But, you know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bite.
What kind of coffee is me? You've been drinking.
It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet. Hearing Maya say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden.
I remember the old man arrived not long after him.
By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct?
Oui, he comes often for my special coffee.
I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience.
Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You are most welcome at any time.
I said it was worth one sip, and nothing more.
So old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. So you're saying that not much time elapsed between when the victim and Mr. Kudo arrived?
Oui, that is correct.
But that still leaves the possibility that something happened in that gap of time. And by your recollection, how much time would you say elapsed?
Let me see. Approximately 2 minutes, I would say. 2 minutes? That's all.
It seems unlikely that anything untoward could have happened in such a short time.
Rats! I knew I shouldn't have pursued this line of questioning.
There were no other customers.
So your only customers were Mr. Kudo and the victim?
How many times do you need to ask the same thing, Trite? You'd never catch me drinking the same blend twice. Huh? You're trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurant, but you're wasting your time. You can't grind birdseed to make coffee, if you catch my drift.
But there is a hole in this testimony somewhere. I'm sure of it.
When he got word he won the lottery, Monsieur L became very excited.
Did you see him?
No, I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember him shouting, "Yes, $500,000.
Presumably the defendant heard that too, then, correct?
Maggie? She looked like a poor little frightened dove.
And what about Mr. Kudo?
The old man choked on some birdseed that got stuck in his throat.
Seems we now have yet another incident on our hands.
It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred.
And what were you doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have had time to kill.
I am a multi-talented woman, monsieur.
Sorry? What do you mean?
There is the renowned chef Jean Armstrong and the tragic poet Clarice Armstrong.
Clarice?
Oui, I was writing a poem, an angry tale of a chef in $500,000 in debt, cooking for a man $1,000,000 in on the lottery. It is called Pourquoi? It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for la court. Please don't. No, there was no time for a phony to do the acting.
You mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred?
I asked the old man to call from La Pavon.
By your argument, Trite. The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear.
Indeed.
Bien, it seems the shadow of doubt has been lifted, n'est-ce pas?
I guess Mr. Armstrong's connected to this case, huh? Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Mr. Elgin, and I refuse to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time, after all. But if you're right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too? She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember? Ah, you mean that's when the phony stages act? We'll know for sure once I find a hole in his testimony. In this testimony. Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived?
Oh no, I cannot remember, monsieur.
I believe we were told by a witness yesterday.
The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir.
Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness?
The incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived, so the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10 p.m., no?
Just after 2, huh?
Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful.
I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony.
Oui, monsieur judge. Everything I do it for you.
Monsieur bien. That's French, isn't it?
I'm glad at least one person is in a good mood. He's even humming a song to himself. I remember the old man arrived not long after him, just after 2 p.m.
Are you absolutely sure about the time?
When I think really hard, I am sure it was just after 2, oui. It is the time I stopped serving the lunch menu.
Quite right. I always break for lunch when the restaurants are serving their specials. I've been known to wind up a case early just to make it on time. Ha ha.
I guess he should never get between a hungry judge and his lunch.
Oh, would you look at that? It's almost lunchtime already.
Witness, get on with your testimony, please. Okay, so that's clearly the thing to press on. Is there an autopsy report? There we go. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong.
Quoi? What do you mean?
At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning numbers for the $500,000 lottery ticket.
Oui, that must be the show Monsieur Egg was listening to.
I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright.
I wonder... You say the victim arrived at a restaurant after 2 p.m., correct?
Oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had just finished serving the lunch menu.
Get to the point, right, if you have one.
That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life.
It's on the air at 1:30.
Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show has already been finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. No! This victim we've been told about has nothing to do... This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over, there's only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elgs in Tribune that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony Glen Elg acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness.
It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how would you explain the time discrepancy?
Quite a performance, right? You were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song.
What is this? Music Theory 101?
Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony elk is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elk is?
I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at that time, the real Glen Elk was already dead.
That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Thank you, Trite. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say.
What?
Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to?
The missing corpse?
According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen Elk, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim?
Prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body?
Yes, Your Honor.
No conjecture, Trite. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden.
Evidence? What's the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? I thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead.
Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. L concealed?
It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Tribune.
Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor. The exact location where the body was concealed inside Tribune is... The body was in here.
I see. Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location?
Oh, there. Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle?
No, I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality only for me.
Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright?
Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of the Tribune.
Eh? Quoi? But I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils.
But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication.
What kind of medication?
I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Elk visited an otolaryngological clinic and was given medication that day?
You can't be serious.
The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle match the prescription that was given to Mr. Elk. Leland's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen. What? Hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen?
Would you?
Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back.
Order! This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenelg?
Never! I could never do such an horrible thing.
Mr. Godot? The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules.
You have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now?
Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my H-deficient friend?
Jean de ma pardon, please, you must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me. Por favor.
Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish. I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it?
No, absolutely none.
Let's hear it. You've got one shot. Right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you. Yes, that's my gavel.
Oh, oui, it is clear. What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this.
Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong.
It is true. I eat the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me.
But you were forced? By who?
I cannot say, or I will be erased.
Let's try a different question, then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at his table?
There was... There was another man.
I knew it. Maggie was telling the truth.
You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright.
There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer.
It is true, I ate the body in the kitchen.
Did you carry the body by yourself?
Oui, I carried him, and I carried Maggie too.
Maggie, too.
When she saw the victim collapse, she fainted. I could not leave her there.
But why did you hide the bodies?
A man forced me to do it. I had no choice.
What man? Who was he?
No, I cannot say. I fear for my life.
He's really scared. You just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick. Yeah, you're right. If you won't tell me, I'll tell him.
Why would you go along with this man?
I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not... Oh, oops.
And what reason would that be, Mr. Armstrong?
You know, monsieur.
Yes?
Surely you could not expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment.
A maiden? You're a bit old to get away with that. And a bit too male. I can't finish the cross-examination without establishing his reason, so I'll just have to prove it with evidence.
But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me.
So you are claiming that all you did was hide the bodies, is that correct?
Oui, that's right.
We have to believe you, Mr. Armstrong. You must tell the court everything. You must make clear the identity of the man who ordered you to do this.
He's already confessed this much. He might as well stop dancing around the real issue. Yeah, but he really doesn't want to tell us who the real killer is. And suck it to him, Nick! Yeah, that's not a bad idea. You have a $500,000 debt, don't you?
$500,000? Is this true, Mr. Armstrong?
Oui, just sweet as hell. I was weak and I borrowed the money.
This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why you can refuse anything asked of you by this man. A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you.
Oui, it is as you say.
Mr. Armstrong!
The tiger, he told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On that day in question, he was meeting the victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried the body and the inconscient Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen.
I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Fierro Tigre.
I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. Poison in the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well?
No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it. I was not. It is despicable.
Mr. Godot, you will summon this Fiero Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we'll adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow.
"30 minutes.
What?
The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more.
How the...
Don't sit back and relax yet, Trite. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way.
Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess.
To be continued.